This is Aging by the Bay, brought to you by A Place for Seniors and ComForCare Home Care. Aging by the Bay is here to provide families in the San Francisco Bay Area pertinent information about healthy aging practices and services. Your host is Ajay of ComForCare Home Care.
Good morning and welcome everyone to Aging by the Bay, where we provide families in the San Francisco Bay Area relevant information about healthy aging practices and services. I'm your host, Ajay Sani from ComForCare Home Care. At Aging by the Bay, we talk about joys and some of the challenges of growing older in the Bay Area. We talk to experts about what they see happening as people age, as well as the services that are available that you or your loved ones may not be aware of. First of all, I want to thank our sponsor, A Place for Seniors, who specializes in helping seniors find residential care homes, assisted living facilities, and memory care assistance. You can contact them directly at 1-800-850-9102. Their website is www.aloveforseniors.com. And again, their number is 1-800-850-9102. Today, I'm really excited to have three experts who will be giving us tons of information in terms of what happens, for example, when people are in hospital and they're trying to go to the home eventually, but there is a transition and they need to get better until they can live on their own in their homes. So I would like to introduce three great experts that I have today. Jazmin Diaz, Marketing Director, Vineyards Healthcare Center. And we also have Lisa Foster, Licensed Nursing Home Administrator, Vineyards Healthcare Center. And last but not the least, Karen Griffin, Rehabilitation Director, Speech Therapist, Links Healthcare. So, in the interest of time, let me start straight by asking, what do you do at Vineyards?
We are an 83-bed skilled nursing facility located in downtown Livermore that provides post-acute care. We have licensed nurses who administer medication, including IVs, provide wound care, assist with pain management, check blood sugars, and provide breathing treatments. Certified nursing assistants who help with bathing, dressing, and toileting. And physical, occupational, and speech therapists who create individualized programs to help seniors get back to their homes.
Great. So, may I ask, Lisa, you now, how does the whole process work? Like, how do people get admitted?
So our industry used to serve primarily the senior population, but it's evolved as part of the post-acute care. You're going to stay in the hospital less and less to receive that care. So we're going to be a part of the transition. It's really for anyone who needs additional care following a hospital admission. Oftentimes, the referral will come directly from the hospital case management department, but there are some situations where the resident or family will request therapy or additional care, and residents can be admitted from home with a referral from their primary physician.
Okay. So what about the choices? Like, how do the patients, select or choose, or it's like given to them, like, okay, you go here, or how does the whole thing works from the family and the patient point of view?
Patients always have a choice about where they would like to go following a hospital stay. The hospital should be providing a list for patients to choose from, and a regulation was just passed that the choices will include quality measures for each of their choices starting next year, so patients can make an informed choice. But patients can also do their own research. If they're going to have a surgery and there's a possibility that they will need post-acute care, they can tour facilities prior to their scheduled surgery. They can also do research at Medicare.gov, where the federal government has implemented a measurement of quality measures that they can see about each facility, and they can also see the facility's last annual survey.
Great. Now, how does it affects financially? So what about the cost? Like, who pays? How does it, the whole thing works?
Let me fill that one, Ajay. Basically, navigating one's healthcare coverage can be quite a daunting task. It can be overwhelming.
Right.
So what we have are, if we're looking at our senior population and they're over the age of 65, you're looking at somebody who is appropriate for Medicare. Mm-hmm. There are often times when people are appropriate for Medicare and they're younger, but that's because they have been declared disabled. Uh-huh. So when we're looking at the over 65 population and we know that they've gone to a hospital because they've had some form of medical episode, it would be necessary for them to have a 3-day stay. Mm-hmm. They need to spend 3 midnights in a hospital. That qualifies for them to be able to receive Medicare at a skilled nursing facility. Okay. So at that point, they, just as Lisa's explained, they are given options. They choose that skilled nursing facility, preferably ours, preferably the Vineyard. They then go to the Vineyards, they are admitted, and that Medicare stay allows for up to 100 days. Mm-hmm. Now, that does not mean they're going to get 100 days because it's very dependent on their diagnosis and the amount of rehab. Certain factors come into play. But the stay is based upon the need for skilled care. And that skilled care requires medical necessity. Mm-hmm. And that also includes skilled rehabilitation, not only the medical side with comprehensive nursing services, but rehabilitation services as well. And we need to be able to state that patient is bed-bound and there's no place else that care can be delivered except at our level of care.
Got it.
Our goal, though, is to get that patient home safely. Mm-hmm. And so the minute they come in, we start talking about a clinical pathway for that patient. And what is it going to take to get this patient to the lowest level of care in a prudent amount of time? So that's a critical factor right there. And our average stay at the Vineyards is we're talking 2 to 3 weeks. Uh-huh. But each care plan is created and is specific to that patient.
Yeah, because ultimately it's all about, making them feel good and sooner they go home and enjoy, better it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one more factor to note is that starting at that day 21, so the days 1 through 20 are completely covered by your Medicare coverage, and then starting day 21, there is a copay. Uh-huh. So I would recommend that seniors have a secondary insurance to help with those fees.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Definitely. So a skilled nursing stay is not a guaranteed 100-day stay, like I said before. Right. There are factors that mitigate that. Now, a lot of our baby boomers and our seniors are working longer than before. They no longer retire at age 58, 61. They're working to age 65, 67, 70. And for that reason, if there's a spouse still working, then their commercial insurance will be primary, and the stay will have to be authorized by the insurance first. And these stays are reviewed each week by an HMO case manager who will determine the length of stay.
Very good. So talking about Vineyards, is there anything maybe, Lisa, you want to talk about, like what you are proud of, or how would you differentiate? What are the benefits for the people who come to your facility?
So I've been working in this industry over 15 years now, and my favorite part of the job is getting to see seniors come in a situation where they're, they've been in an extended hospital stay, they're not doing great, they're not feeling that well, and then seeing them within the next few weeks progress through our rehab program and be able to benefit from our care and return home. We really take a holistic approach into caring for our residents. Our rehab program is customized to their needs. If they have 18 steps to get to their bedroom, then that's what we're going to work on. If they need help at home where they need resources, our social worker can provide that. If they're just started on oxygen or a diabetic insulin shot, then we need to try and wean them or train them how to, provide that care at home and safely maneuver. We really take an interdisciplinary approach, and that's what makes us successful. Our parent company, Lynx, has a patient-driven model with hands-on leadership, and they encourage us to personalize our care to what those seniors need to get home.
That's
safely.
very good, because end of the day, it's all about the people who are coming, what is in their interest. And as long as we are taking care of their interest, we really help them. So that's really very good to know. So in terms of locations, where all you are located?
Ajay, it's starting with our Livermore facility. That's the Vineyards in Livermore. And I do have to say, it's been refurbished. It's such a gem. It's a lovely, lovely 87-bed facility. We then moved down and on to other facilities in San Jose. Mm-hmm. We have facilities in Sacramento, Stockton, Bakersfield, Lodi, and San Diego. So we've hit some pretty dynamic, interesting places on the map, all places that I love to visit.
Yeah. And I've been to your Livermore location multiple times, and I must admit, it's really good. So is there any, I know there are multiple programs that you're running, so maybe this is a little bit of a hard one, but if you want to pick one program quickly, if you want to give an overview, do you want to highlight something?
Oh, of course. Well, let me just, and let me preface the Livermore facility, our Vineyards building, since it's just so lovely. They have rehab showcased right near the front when you walk in the door. And let me tell you, miracles happen there. And I say this from the heart because I'm a therapist and I'm a speech-language pathologist. That's the medical term. Mm-hmm. But I just can't depict any one program in that building so much as they work as a united front to get the patient back home. So what I will tell you is that as physical therapists are folks that help people improve their movement and manage their pain. Mm-hmm. There's some overlap with occupational therapy, who does some of that, but they also focus on improving a patient's ability to perform activities of daily living. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then a speech-language pathologist, it helps people communicate and also helps them with their eating and swallowing skills. So, when we take a patient on board and they're admitted into our facility, we look at the patient very individualized. And we formulate a goal for that patient because, of course, we want to get them home in a reasonable amount of time safely. Mm-hmm. So we have goals as therapists, but there's nothing more important than a patient's goal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And with that also comes perhaps the family's goal for that patient.
Right.
So that's what I mean about patient-specific. Mm-hmm. It has to be extremely individualized and customized. Right. And it reminds me of something that I witnessed just a little bit ago. And speaking as a speech path here, there was a gentleman who had a stroke, and he was having difficulty communicating because he had aphasia, difficulty with word finding. And the therapist's goal was that he'd communicate his basic needs and wants in 3-word set utterances, which was quite difficult for him because of his left hemisphere brain damage. But he could still sing because that's a different side of the brain.
Right.
His goal was to be able to sing "You Are My Sunshine" to his wife again.
Wow.
And I'll never forget that day. There were tears. There were tears when he was able to sing to his wife again, and she was present.
Wow.
The new normal for that individual was that he was going to go home. He was still going to have some residual deficits, but something they had shared together was going to remain intact.
This is so touching, so touching.
Thank you. I agree. It was something to see.
Right. So, to wrap up, if there is one question I should have asked and I didn't, what would that be? Do you want to say something on that note? So,
I would say that seniors, about 10 years ago, they would call skilled nursing a convalescent home. It was somewhere where seniors would go for their final days. As healthcare has progressed and the hospital stays have gotten shorter and shorter, skilled nursing is actually more a part of the continuum now, where the hospital will resolve the acute concern that the patient has, and then they will transition them to a skilled nursing facility to encourage the healing process and get them home. And that more seniors are going to have the expectation that they may need to go into a skilled nursing facility to recuperate so that they can go home safely.
Very good. So now, what about, it's always good if we give some, value, and in more we can give information out there, people in the Bay Area, great. I mean, that's really very, very good. So any tips or suggestions you would like to give for our listeners who are listening so they may, get a good benefit?
Of course. I would definitely suggest that they check out their resources, attend health fairs to get more information, tour facilities in your areas, talk to the local senior centers or a social worker to see what's available out there.
And to add to that, I just can't stress the importance of keeping active on both a mind, body, soul. It just, a body at rest. And then a body at work. Motion is lotion. Keep moving, people. That's huge.
Right. And feel free to elaborate more on that because, this is very close to me also because I feel if we are active and physically and mentally, it's all about, I was listening to a TED Talk earlier where they talk about, building multiple connections by, stimulating the brain. That helps, people not reach a stage where they may, if they are kind of, not stimulating the brain. So, this is an excellent, topic that you're bringing. We can talk on for this, for more than half an hour, but still, briefly, what would you,
Well, I would really encourage a dog. I got to be honest with you. Walking a dog twice a day, first thing in the morning, and later in the day around the block is such a healthy, both on a physical level and then connecting with something that you love. And a dog is a perfect way to get your exercise and still have that connection. And then helping our seniors remain socially connected. It keeps their minds active as well, whether it's a book club, dining out. We all hear that people who are socially connected also are healthier and live longer. Right. So that is huge as well. And just taking time to appreciate and practicing healthy habits regarding gratefulness is just huge. So I just really espouse to a mind, body, soul philosophy for our seniors.
Yeah. I'm so happy you brought gratefulness because what happens, I've noticed at times while taking care of seniors that at an age where they are not as, efficient as they used to be in the good old days, sometimes it's very easy to get sort of, in a complaining mode. However, if we bring gratefulness into our sort of thought process, we can always come up with excellent, ways to thank whoever we want to thank, right? And once we are grateful, it's very difficult to be angry along with when we are grateful. They don't go hand in hand. So if we are grateful, anger goes out of the window.
Beautiful. I agree.
It's trying to, refocus their efforts on the positives because they do have a lot of loss. Seniors are living longer. We have 100-year-olds that are living with us at the Vineyards. And, some of their friends and their family have passed away. And so they're not working anymore. They have a lot of loss that they are trying to manage. So having them focus on more positive things can help them with their mood and just, going into retirement and, these things that happen to us where we have to go into the hospital and we have to get therapy and we may need to have IVs or, things that are a little bit out of control allow us to focus on the things we can be grateful for.
Yeah. So the glass is never empty. It's like, if even a half full glass, it's half filled with water and half filled with air. So there's nothing like emptiness. It's always full if you look at the positive side. So yeah, I 100% agree with you. That's really good. So how do people reach out? So in terms of, we go to hospitals and there the information is provided, and if somebody wants to research beforehand, then they can go on the website and find you, and then...
So they can go to www.medicare.gov. They could actually put in their zip code, and it will bring up the facilities that are in their local area. And then it also gives you their quality measure rating. There's a 5-star rating on there, and if you click on that specific facility, it can also give you their last survey, so you can see any items of care that they were deficient in. And this gives you an opportunity to do a little bit of research online. But my other recommendation is that you always want to go and see and feel the facility, because when you walk into a facility, you're going to see if it feels light. You're going to see if it feels warm. You're going to see if the employees are smiling, if people greet you, if they ask you questions about you. So you're going to get a feeling about how the care would be provided in that facility just from looking on the internet.
Very good. So listeners, this is, again, another very good point. So please visit the facilities before making a decision, because it can be a big decision and it can mean a lot in terms of the whole recovery process. So, they should definitely go and visit. And also, if they want to call and book an appointment and all those kind of things, so that should be pretty straightforward, right? Like in terms of to make it easier, because at that time, sometimes when they are in the hospital and all that, they may go through a lot in terms of the patient itself and the family. So in order to make it convenient for them, I guess it's a good idea to make an appointment in advance, or...
You can call and make an appointment, but really the recommendation that I provide to families is to just drop in, because you're going to find out more about that facility by dropping in. Is it clean after hours? Is it loud? What kind of staffing do they have? Even going on the weekends, are they providing the same care that they're providing during the week? Those are factors that you're going to want to take into account when you're looking for a facility.
Very good. It also shows that you're so confident. You're giving the, really the right tip for the people, like in terms of what is in their best interest. And I really like it. Just do a surprise visit so you know the fact, rather than seeing their best picture when everything is kind of a little bit planned. So, I like it. I love it. This is really good. So I just want to say thanks a lot. It has been very, very useful, I think. And the listeners out there, all our, elderly people out there and their families, I think will find really useful all this information. And I'm very happy and thankful that you could spare the time and you could come today to talk about this very important topic.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
We really appreciate you having us. And if anyone has any questions, they can definitely give us a call. We are with the Vineyards Healthcare in Livermore. Thank you.
So listeners, thank you for joining us on Aging by the Bay today. Thank you to our sponsor, A Love for Seniors, as this show provides information that helps our seniors age better. Please visit our sponsor's website at www.aloveforseniors.com. We hope that you enjoyed the show, and please subscribe to our podcast that is available at iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and YouTube. You can find the show and also previous shows at our website, www.agingbythebay.com. We love your feedback, and so please leave your comments. If you have any question for our featured guests or want to become a featured guest, please contact us by sending an email at info@agingbythebay.com. Again, a big thank you to our sponsors, A Love for Seniors, and to ComForCare Home Care. This has been an Aging by the Bay show, addressing issues on aging and services available for our elderly population. We will be back next Saturday at 10 a.m. Until then, take care, be safe, and have fun.
This has been Aging by the Bay with Ajay Sani, addressing issues on aging and services for the elderly community. Brought to you by A Place for Seniors and ComForCare Home Care. Join us again next week for Aging by the Bay.